Prince Mateen has long been regarded as one of the most dynamic and modern figures within Brunei's royal family. As the fourth son of Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, he was not in direct line for the throne, yet he carved out a significant role that extended beyond mere ceremonial duties. From his early years, Mateen demonstrated a strong sense of discipline and responsibility, earning respect both within Brunei and internationally. His contributions to the monarchy were not just symbolic, they reflected a deep commitment to service, diplomacy, and advocacy. His decision to step back from certain royal responsibilities only makes it more important to understand the impact he has had as a royal and the legacy he leaves behind. One of the defining aspects of Prince Mateen's role has been his dedication to military service. Graduating from the prestigious Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in 2011, he quickly proved himself as more than just a prince in uniform. He took on real responsibilities within the Brunei Armed Forces, rising through the ranks and participating in various military operations. His involvement was not limited to ceremonial events. He actively trained with soldiers, engaged in defense initiatives, and represented Brunei's interests in security matters. His military career helped solidify his image as a disciplined and hard-working member of the royal family, earning him admiration from both his fellow officers and the public. Beyond his military commitments, Mateen became one of Brunei's most visible diplomats. His ability to balance traditional royal expectations with a modern global outlook made him a valuable asset in international relations. Whether attending state visits, engaging with world leaders, or representing Brunei at high-profile events, he brought a sense of relatability that many royals struggle to achieve. His charm and charisma allowed him to bridge the gap between Brunei's centuries-old monarchy and the expectations of a younger, more globalized audience. He became a royal who not only upheld tradition but also resonated with modern sensibilities. Mateen's influence extended into social and environmental causes, particularly his passion for wildlife conservation. Unlike many royals who focus on diplomacy and governance, he chose to dedicate significant time to raising awareness about environmental preservation. He actively supported initiatives to protect endangered species, combat deforestation, and promote sustainable practices in Brunei. His advocacy efforts were not just performative, he was deeply involved in conservation projects, lending his voice and influence to causes that needed global attention. This commitment set him apart as a prince who genuinely cared about the planet's future, rather than simply fulfilling a royal obligation. Culturally, Mateen also played a key role in shaping Brunei's image on the international stage. In a country known for its adherence to tradition, he represented a blend of heritage and modernity. His presence at international sports events, particularly in polo, showcased his athleticism and competitive spirit. His participation in tournaments alongside global elites helped raise Brunei's profile, presenting the nation as a place where tradition and contemporary pursuits could coexist. His ability to effortlessly switch between royal duties, military service, environmental advocacy, and high society engagements made him a well-rounded and influential figure. Despite his achievements, Mateen has remained remarkably down-to-earth. His approachable demeanor, combined with his well-documented love for animals, sports, and travel, has made him one of the most relatable royals in Brunei's history. He has never presented himself as untouchable or overly distant, instead embracing a more accessible and personable image. Whether interacting with citizens or engaging with international figures, he has consistently demonstrated humility and a strong sense of duty. With his decision to pass on his royal title, there is no doubt that Mateen's role in the monarchy is evolving. However, his contributions over the past decade have left a lasting impact, shaping how modern royals engage with their responsibilities. His legacy as a military officer, diplomat, and conservationist will continue to influence Brunei's royal family, regardless of the titles he holds. As he transitions into a new chapter, his influence is likely to persist, reinforcing the idea that a modern royal's role is not just about maintaining traditions, but about shaping the future in meaningful and impactful ways. Prince Mateen's unexpected decision to relinquish his royal title in favor of his sister, Princess Azemah, has left many observers questioning the motivations behind this unprecedented move. As one of the most prominent members of Brunei's royal family, Mateen has been a global figure, balancing his military career, diplomatic duties, and personal advocacy projects. His charm and modern approach to monarchy have garnered widespread admiration, making his decision even more surprising. The transition raises several pressing questions. Was this a personal choice driven by shifting priorities? A strategic maneuver by the royal family to modernize its structure? Or does it hint at deeper internal dynamics within the Brunei monarchy? For over a decade, Prince Mateen has been an integral part of Brunei's public image. He is widely respected for his disciplined military background, having trained at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst and later serving in the Brunei Armed Forces. Beyond his military duties, he has represented Brunei on the global stage, attending high-profile diplomatic events and advocating for causes such as environmental conservation. His ability to seamlessly blend tradition with a forward-thinking outlook has made him a role model for younger generations, both within Brunei and internationally. However, despite his prominence, it appears that Mateen has chosen to redefine his role within the monarchy, stepping back from certain formal obligations while still maintaining an influential presence. One potential reason behind his decision could be a broader restructuring within Brunei's royal family. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah has ruled for decades, and as discussions about the future of the monarchy continue, redistributing responsibilities among family members may be a way to ensure long-term stability. By passing his title to Princess Azemah, Prince Mateen could be playing a part in a carefully orchestrated plan to balance tradition with modernization. This move could signal an effort to diversify leadership within the royal family, allowing different members to take on roles that align with their strengths. Another possibility is that Mateen wishes to focus more on his personal passions. While he has excelled in his royal duties, his deep commitment to environmental conservation, wildlife protection, and international diplomacy has always been evident. With fewer ceremonial obligations, he may now have the opportunity to expand his initiatives, potentially leading large-scale conservation efforts, or even launching his own foundation. This transition could grant him the flexibility to engage in projects that align more closely with his long-term ambitions, rather than being confined by the rigid expectations of traditional royal duties. The shift also raises speculation about family dynamics within the palace. While royal families often present a united front to the public, behind closed doors, decisions of this magnitude are rarely made without extensive discussions and strategic considerations. Whether this was entirely Mateen's choice or a decision influenced by internal conversations remains unclear. However, it is evident that this transition is not a mere symbolic gesture but a move that reflects larger shifts within Brunei's monarchy. At the same time, Mateen's departure from certain royal responsibilities does not mean he is stepping out of the public eye. If anything, this decision may allow him to redefine what it means to be a modern prince. Rather than being limited to ceremonial duties, he could become an even more influential global figure, using his platform to advocate for causes beyond the confines of traditional royal expectations. His military background, diplomatic experience, and public appeal provide him with numerous opportunities to shape his own legacy outside of the strict framework of Brunei's royal hierarchy. While the full reasoning behind Prince Mateen's decision remains speculative, it is clear that this move represents a significant moment in Brunei's royal history. Whether it is part of a broader strategic shift, a personal choice, or a combination of both, the implications of this transition will continue to unfold. As Princess Azemah steps into her elevated role, all eyes will remain on Mateen to see how he reinvents his position in the years to come. Princess Azemah's ascent to a more prominent role within Brunei's royal family marks a significant shift in the nation's monarchical structure. Though she has long been a respected member of the royal household, her new position as the recipient of Prince Mateen's title signals an evolution in both her responsibilities and the perception of women's roles in the monarchy. Unlike her brother, who has often been in the public eye due to his military and diplomatic engagements, Azemah has maintained a relatively lower profile. However, her intelligence, poise, and deep understanding of Brunei's traditions have quietly positioned her as a capable and influential royal figure. Now, with the weight of new responsibilities upon her, she steps into the spotlight as both a guardian of tradition and a symbol of modern leadership. Born into one of the world's most enduring monarchies, Princess Azemah has been raised with an acute awareness of royal duties and the expectations that come with them. Her upbringing was one of privilege, but it also came with the discipline and rigor necessary to navigate the complexities of royal life. Unlike many princesses who are primarily seen as ceremonial figures, Azemah has demonstrated a keen ability to engage in matters of diplomacy, cultural preservation, and governance. While Prince Mateen embodied the monarchy's youthful, athletic, and internationally recognized persona, Azemah's strengths lie in her ability to uphold the monarchy's integrity, while subtly introducing progressive elements into its framework. Despite her lower public profile in comparison to her brother, Azemah's influence has been felt within the royal court for years. She has been involved in numerous official engagements, representing the family at key events and demonstrating a quiet yet firm leadership style. She carries herself with grace and a strong sense of responsibility, making her a natural fit for a more elevated role. Unlike other royals who thrive on media attention, she has preferred a more strategic approach, ensuring that her influence is built on action rather than spectacle. This reserved nature might prove to be an asset in an era where royals are increasingly scrutinized for their every move. With her new title, Princess Azemah is now expected to take on greater leadership within Brunei's monarchy. Her responsibilities will likely expand beyond ceremonial appearances to include strategic roles in governance, international relations, and perhaps even policy-making. Given her ability to balance tradition with a contemporary perspective, she may play a crucial role in shaping how Brunei's royal family adapts to a changing world. As global monarchies face increasing pressure to modernize, her leadership will be closely watched both within and beyond Brunei's borders. Her rise also raises broader questions about the evolving role of women within Brunei's royal family. Historically, male royals have dominated the leadership positions, while princesses have largely taken on cultural and philanthropic duties. Azemah's new responsibilities suggest a shift in this dynamic, potentially paving the way for greater female influence in the monarchy's affairs. If she successfully navigates this transition, it could set a precedent for future generations of royal women, proving that leadership is not confined to gender but rather to capability and vision. Beyond politics and governance, Princess Azemah's elevation to a more prominent role carries deep symbolic weight. She represents the blending of Brunei's centuries-old traditions with the realities of the modern world. She is expected to uphold the customs that define Brunei's monarchy while finding ways to remain relevant in an era of global change. Her ability to strike this balance will determine not only her legacy but also the perception of the monarchy as a whole. As she takes on this new chapter, the world will be watching to see how Princess Azemah defines her leadership. Will she maintain the quiet, reserved approach that has characterized her presence thus far? Or will she step into a more visible and outspoken role? Will she introduce reforms that push the monarchy forward? Or will she preserve the status quo with a more subtle influence? Regardless of the path she chooses, her rise marks a turning point in Brunei's royal history, one that signifies both continuity and change. Prince Mateen's decision to step back and pass his royal title to Princess Azemah carries far-reaching implications for Brunei's monarchy. At first glance, this shift may seem like a personal or symbolic gesture, but in reality, it reflects deeper strategic moves within the royal family. Brunei, one of the world's last absolute monarchies, has long adhered to a structured system of leadership, with royal roles and responsibilities carefully distributed among the Sultan's children. The redistribution of duties signals a potential evolution in the way the monarchy operates, balancing tradition with modern governance. This transition could redefine leadership dynamics, influence succession planning, and shape the monarchy's role in an era of increasing scrutiny. One of the most significant aspects of this change is the reinforcement of a streamlined monarchy. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah has ruled for decades, and as discussions about the future of the royal family continue, it appears that a strategic restructuring is underway. The decision to shift Prince Mateen's role while elevating Princess Azemah suggests that the Sultan is re-evaluating how royal responsibilities are assigned. By concentrating leadership in a select group of royals, Brunei's monarchy could be positioning itself for a more efficient and specialized governance model, where each member focuses on areas that best align with their strengths. Princess Azemah's increasing prominence also highlights the evolving role of women in the royal family. Traditionally, female members of Brunei's monarchy have played more symbolic roles, focusing on cultural, educational, and philanthropic efforts. However, with her new responsibilities, Azemah steps into a more active leadership position, potentially setting a precedent for greater female involvement in governance. If her role expands beyond ceremonial duties, it could mark a shift toward a more inclusive leadership model within the monarchy, one that acknowledges the capabilities of royal women in shaping national affairs. Beyond internal royal dynamics, this transition could also impact Brunei's international standing. The country's monarchy has long maintained a careful balance between tradition and diplomatic engagement, and its image on the global stage is crucial to maintaining relationships with other nations. Prince Mateen's popularity, particularly among younger generations and international audiences, has been an asset in portraying Brunei as a progressive yet tradition-bound nation. His decision to step back from formal royal duties raises questions about how the monarchy will sustain its global appeal. Princess Azemah's leadership style and diplomatic engagement will be closely observed to see if she can maintain or even enhance Brunei's influence in international affairs. At the same time, this change may also be a response to the increasing need for modern monarchies to remain relevant. Around the world, royal families are being scrutinized for their roles in contemporary governance, and many have been forced to adapt. Brunei's monarchy, despite being deeply rooted in Islamic tradition and absolute rule, is not immune to these pressures. The redistribution of duties could be a proactive move to ensure that the monarchy remains dynamic and adaptable. By strategically positioning its members in roles that maximize their impact, the royal family may be seeking to strengthen its legitimacy and maintain public support. However, such shifts are not without challenges. As roles change, public perception of the monarchy could also shift. While Prince Mateen was widely admired for his approachability and modern outlook, Princess Azemah's leadership remains relatively untested in the public eye. Her ability to manage expectations, uphold traditions, and introduce meaningful progress will determine how smoothly this transition unfolds. The royal family must ensure that this change is not seen as mere internal maneuvering, but as a meaningful step toward a monarchy that remains relevant and effective in the modern era. Ultimately, this transition signifies more than just a personal decision. It represents a calculated effort to shape the future of Brunei's monarchy. Whether this move strengthens the institution or raises further questions about its direction remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the world will be watching as Brunei navigates this new chapter in its royal history. Prince Mateen's decision to relinquish his royal title does not mean his departure from public life. Rather, it marks a shift in his role and opens new possibilities for his future. As one of Brunei's most well-known royals, he has built a legacy beyond traditional ceremonial duties, carving out an identity that blends military service, diplomatic engagements, and modern advocacy. Now, with fewer formal royal responsibilities, he is in a unique position to redefine what it means to be a prince in the 21st century. His future path is likely to be shaped by his passions, personal ambitions, and the evolving needs of Brunei's monarchy. One area where Prince Mateen is expected to remain highly active is conservation and environmental advocacy. Over the years, he has championed various initiatives focused on protecting endangered species, promoting sustainable practices, and raising awareness about environmental issues. Without the constraints of frequent royal obligations, he may now have the time and flexibility to expand these efforts on a larger scale. He could potentially establish his own foundation or collaborate with international organizations to drive meaningful change in conservation. Given his widespread appeal, he has the ability to use his influence to bring attention to global environmental challenges, while aligning these efforts with Brunei's national interests. Additionally, his military career is likely to continue playing a crucial role in his life. Having graduated from the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst and served in the Brunei Armed Forces, Mateen has demonstrated a deep commitment to national defense. His experience in the military has not been merely symbolic. He has actively trained alongside soldiers, participated in exercises, and represented Brunei in military diplomacy. With his royal title no longer at the forefront of his identity, he may choose to take on more specialized military roles, potentially engaging in defense strategy or international security collaborations. His expertise and connections could position him as an unofficial military advisor or representative for Brunei in defense-related matters. Prince Mateen's transition also raises questions about his potential involvement in international diplomacy. He has been one of Brunei's most globally recognized figures, attending high-profile events, engaging with foreign dignitaries, and maintaining strong diplomatic ties. While stepping back from official royal duties, he may still be called upon to act as a bridge between Brunei and the international community. His charm, fluency in multiple languages, and global connections make him an asset in fostering relationships between Brunei and other nations. Whether in an official or informal capacity, he could continue representing Brunei on the world stage, particularly in areas such as trade, culture, and global sustainability. Another aspect of Mateen's future that has sparked significant public curiosity is his personal life. As one of Brunei's most eligible bachelors, speculation about his potential marriage has been ongoing for years. Now that he is stepping into a less rigid royal role, the possibility of starting a family or making personal life decisions outside the confines of traditional royal expectations may become more likely. While the details of his private life remain carefully guarded, any major developments such as marriage or relocation could further shape his public image and redefine his place within Brunei's royal family. Despite stepping back from certain royal responsibilities, Mateen is unlikely to disappear from the public eye. His strong social media presence and global following ensure that he remains a highly influential figure. Whether through philanthropy, sports, military service, or diplomatic engagements, he has the opportunity to craft a role that is uniquely his own. Unlike other royals bound by strict protocols, he now has greater freedom to pursue projects and causes that align with his personal values, while maintaining his connection to the monarchy. Ultimately, Prince Mateen's future remains open-ended. filled with possibilities that extend beyond the traditional expectations of a royal figure. He has already demonstrated that he is more than just a prince. He is a leader, a strategist, and a modern representative of Brunei. As he embarks on this new chapter, his influence is likely to evolve, but his legacy as one of Brunei's most dynamic royals is already well established. His journey will be closely watched, not only by those within Brunei but by admirers worldwide who see him as a symbol of what a modern royal can be. Prince Mateen's decision to step back from his royal title and Princess Azemah's rise within Brunei's monarchy must be viewed within a broader historical and global context. Monarchies across the world are facing increasing pressure to modernize, adapt, and redefine their roles in contemporary society. While Brunei remains one of the few absolute monarchies, even it is not immune to the shifting expectations of both its citizens and the international community. This transition within the royal family may reflect a conscious effort to balance tradition with modern governance, ensuring the monarchy remains relevant in an era where hereditary rule is often questioned. Historically, Brunei's monarchy has operated under a strict framework of primogeniture, where leadership and responsibilities are passed down through male heirs. However, the redistribution of roles suggests a subtle evolution, acknowledging the capabilities of different members, rather than strictly following traditional gendered leadership patterns. In a world where female monarchs and royals are increasingly stepping into leadership roles such as Queen Rania of Jordan or Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, Princess Azemah's elevation follows a larger trend of recognizing women's contributions to governance and diplomacy. Globally, other royal families have also undergone structural shifts to remain relevant. The British monarchy, for instance, has streamlined its ranks, focusing on a core group of working royals. Similarly, in Japan, discussions continue about allowing female succession, a topic that would have been unthinkable just decades ago. Even in absolute monarchies like Saudi Arabia, the role of royal women has been gradually expanding in areas of governance and public life. Brunei's decision to adjust its internal structure could be a reflection of these broader changes, signaling a willingness to evolve without completely dismantling long-standing traditions. At the same time, this shift within Brunei's royal family may also serve a diplomatic function. As nations across Southeast Asia embrace modernization and economic diversification, Brunei faces increasing pressure to align with global trends, while maintaining its cultural heritage. By demonstrating flexibility in leadership roles, the monarchy presents an image of adaptability, which can help strengthen diplomatic ties and reinforce its legitimacy both at home and abroad. Whether this transition is part of a long-term strategy or a one-time adjustment, it highlights the growing intersection between royal traditions and modern expectations on a global scale.